How often were you working on average?
I think I worked 7 to 10 days a month. Yeah, I got $1,000 a day, so it's a lot of money.
Good money.
Yeah, yeah. The budgets were much bigger.
Were you working more than a female performer?
Yeah.
Because you were with everybody.
Well, yeah.
You're working in theater. You were doing commercials. When you started being recognized in public for the adult films,
Right.
how did you feel about that?
It was cool. It was good.
Did it have more or less value than somebody saying, "Oh, I saw your play"? Why?
It was cool. It was more or less value, but it was cool. And who recognized me and how they recognized me, but it was something I was proud of. You know, something I was proud of. Sure.
Being an adult obviously makes intimate relationships which are difficult to begin with, even more so. When you were working an adult, were you in intimate relationships, not necessarily monogamous, but you were either married
Sure.
or engaged or?
I was never married, but yeah, I had always had a relationship going on, almost always. Yeah, I almost always had a relationship or two going on.
Making that switch, okay, honey, gotta go to work. Obviously, the okays, you get 9 okays, and then you get one.
Well, my girlfriends were usually in the business. Now that I think about it, maybe I didn't really have a primary relationship for most of the years. When I got married, I quit. I can't believe I was so honorable, but I did. Actually, now that I think of it, for most of the years I didn't have that primary relationship, and when I did, the girl was in the business. But for about 10 years, I was pretty free, no relationship.
But her being in the business didn't necessarily mean that she was going to have, any understanding.
Yeah, I never dealt with that. I never faced that at all. A woman who was upset with my going to work. I lied to a lot of women, who I was just mostly mainstream women who I was taking out, and I didn't want them to know that I was an active porno star because I thought it would ruin my relationship with them. But I can't recall having. I had a couple of relationships with women, and I just lied to them.
What would you tell them you were doing? Just a stage?
I was
actor,
going to director. I was gonna. I also had a cable television business where I bought and sold movies from cable television. So I'd have other reasons. I lied to women so much. A stupid fucking thing to do. I lied so much.
Why? Does this kind of tie into that love of the guilt, or that love of the pain of hiding the porn behind the
Yeah, I don't know if I love that. It's just I don't love the guilt. I don't love the pain. I love the pain, but it's a different type of psychological pain. But hiding the porn, no, I don't love that. I'm talking about the pain of having a relationship threatened is very sexy.
But do you think, so you're hiding a portion of who you are from this person.
Right.
Were you embarrassed then of that person?
No, I thought if that person found out that they wouldn't be as nice to me, as loving, as forthcoming as whatever I was getting from them, I wouldn't get it. Either because they directly told me, or
Because there was a stigma of people that.
oh yeah, oh sure. Once I became a porn actor, it was definitely a stigma. Definitely, it was before I was even involved in the business. I wasn't aware of anything. I wasn't aware of the business. But once I got involved, oh, definitely a stigma. Absolutely.
Was that a surprise to you? Were you like,
No,
what did I
no,
sign
no,
up
no,
for?
no, 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 not at all. But I just never remembered being much of an issue in my life as far as it ostracizing people from my life.
Right.
In fact, I used to say, being Paul Thomas is a great instant filter for me, because it filters out the people in my life who don't belong there anyway. You know, it filters them out instantly.
Right. It does. It does. It makes people.
But I never had an intimate relationship with a woman while being a porn star of any length. I had some, but and was truthful about it. I had a few, but I lied.
I have too. Don't feel bad.
You're the guy. I heard there was one other guy who lied. It was you.
Did you have any insecurities that the business enhanced, or does the business enhance insecurities?
The business can certainly enhance a low self-esteem. The way that sex is held in our society, with all the guilt and the shame and the do's and the don'ts and the judgments, you need to know, you need to have your self-esteem intact. Or if not, being a porn star, what you think people are saying about you and the way you think people are treating you, whether it's real or not, yeah, you can really have your confidence, your self-esteem. You can get undermined. You can become paranoid. You need to have your shit together to be able to carry yourself with full value and say, I'm this, I'm this, I'm this, and I'm a porn star. And if you do, you know, people get over it. And again, if they don't, fuck them. They don't belong in your life anyway. It does amaze me now when I think about it, now that I'm retired, some of the decisions that I made in my life. Simply the decision to be a porn star. And how foreign it was to my life and my family. I mean, I come from real blue bloods. And how, oh my God, how did I do that? But I thought about it at the time, and it was like, it wasn't even a decision. Should I do it or shouldn't I? It was an absolute calling of, here, this beautiful girl, this beautiful script, all this money. You're going to do it or not? Of course. It's some stupid. If I could do it again, I would not. I would have stayed with William Morris. I had the best agent in Hollywood, the single best agent. His name was Stan Kamen. He signed me up when I was on stage. New York flew me out. He put me up in a. I was on my way if I stuck it out. I didn't have the discipline. I tell you, I had a calling for actually in movies, but I didn't have the discipline of craft. I'm sure you can relate to this, to sacrifice what I needed to sacrifice to become a success in the mainstream. If I had to do it, got to do it again, I might have done it differently.
But you wouldn't have had.
I had such an amazingly successful, wonderful career. It's tough for me to say that, but
You're 12 years in front of the camera. When you ended that, you got married?
yeah.
During that time, did you ever hit the wall? Before that 12th year, when you
I mean, as a
said
porn actor?
you're just hitting the wall with just, after 4 years, and you're working 10 times a month, so you're.
Never hit the wall with porn as a porn
You
actor.
just want to get out and just say, ugh.
No, it wasn't, because it was like 7-10 days a month, and I always had bigger crises to overcome. I was always into drugs. I was a drug addict, but I wasn't a drug addict who did them every day. I'd binge. So I always had, before I could hit the wall in anything, I'd have some 4 or 5 day
release.
you know, binge on mescaline and LSD, a couple Quaaludes and a gram of cocaine, and I had
Just a gram?
yeah,
Wow.
an ounce. You know, I had that. I had that unbelievable party, and then the aftermath, and digging my way up to. I was so happy to just get my head above water and feel good again. I was grateful to be a porn star. So I created bigger crisis with drugs, and never got to face any others. Arrested Development.